So could you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Shuying Li, and I'm a composer. I write all kinds of music, ranging from chamber to orchestra, wind ensemble band, and opera. And originally from China. I came to the States for college when I was 19, and have been enjoying life here ever since then. I'm currently teaching music theory and composition at California State University, Sacramento.
So, first of all, what is the initial inspiration behind your composition pieces? Can you share insights into your process and particularly how you begin a new composition?
Sure. So I guess most of the initial inspirations for my compositions often comes from literature, sometimes movies and shows that I watch. I find that exploring different narratives and emotions in these mediums help me to create music that resonates with a wide range of listeners. And particularly, I know you mentioned my word map concerti series when you wrote to me. So this series of concertos were an exception. I didn't get inspirations from any literature or movies. I simply work with each individual players, focusing on their unique background, cultural background. Because at the time, each member in my ensemble is which this concerto was from a different country. So it was natural to focus on those different cultures to create that series of concertos. You also asked about my creative process. Well, currently I mostly start by having a really clear plan. I would usually have some sort of sketch in the oftentimes graphic notation manner um, on a piece of paper before I can come up with any specific motifs or pitches, rhythms. Those come later. I want to see how I can have a bigger picture first in place before I get into the specifics notes, so to speak.
Great. So is there a specific piece you would like to share the key musical ideas or themes you explored?
Sure. So among these five concertos in the word map, there is the clarinet concerto titled American Variations. So it's a set of variations based on an original theme that I came up with. And then all those variations got realized in different American musical styles. So I had lots of fun developing them into jazz, ragtime, atonal, klezmer, and pop rock touch style. So originally I was working with my good friend, clarinetist Joshua Anderson, who teaches at University of Nevada, Reno nowadays. And the overall structure depicts a metaphorical journey through different times in American history, both in both macro and micro levels. So I guess kind of like the ending variation titled subtitled Coming True was kind of like a summary of this piece. It kind of depicts the power of the American dream and the resiliency of human spirit to overcome differences in favor of unity and progress.
So how do you approach creating these compositions that resonate across diverse audiences while staying true to your identity?
Um, I guess I try to maintain a really open mind and focus on the universal values and human experiences. I believe that by understanding cultural differences while emphasizing our shared humanity, my music can connect with audiences in a wider audiences, and that is also the mission of my compositions. I want to connect with more people through shared and universal human emotions and experiences.
Great. In your opinion, what are the biggest challenges faced by contemporary composers and performers within the classical music industry today?
That's a big question. Um, I guess from my standpoint, I think one of the biggest challenges, um, as you mentioned in the contemporary classical music, is securing structured support, not just from donors and organizations, and also from governments. That's just how classical music and or contemporary classical music got to thrive in Europe. I think that kind of support, like just, all levels of support is crucial for the sustainability of composers and performers in this industry.
Are there any emerging trends or movements that you believe will impact this genre positively?
Um, yeah, and really in recent years, I see certain trends, I guess, in both, particularly large ensemble, like orchestra and wind ensemble or band world. I see more and more cross-genre collaborations, and then the blurring of classical music boundaries. I see those as positive trends. I think these movements encourage innovation and allow us to create music that reflects the diversity of our world. And I'm particularly really interested in exploring that direction as well.
How can contemporary music be made more accessible to a wider audience? Are there any specific strategies?
Um, I think the trend we talked about overall, in my opinion, it's been pretty effective. It's attracted more people who, I guess, in the past wouldn't be so interested in so-called classical music. I think to make contemporary classical music more accessible would involve embracing new trends, like we talked about, and finding common ground with the general public um, by also creating a more interactive and engaging experiences. We can broaden the appeal of classical music, so it no longer is this really typical experience of you get dressed up, going into a concert hall and sitting still for hours and just to listen to music. Some interaction, actually more interactions could be involved to broaden um, the appeal.
Mhm. Great idea. So this is a pretty new trend that might be interesting. So what is your vision for the future of music composition with AI technology or any kind of technology?
That's a great question. I guess the integration of technology such as AI, that's inevitable. In music composition, it also presents exciting possibilities for sure. Specifically, um, I don't have lots of expertise in um, AI or even like electronic music. I'm still doing pretty um, traditional, I guess, acoustic music in at this point. So I'm still exploring this area, but I believe that technology can be a valuable tool when used effectively and thoughtfully. So there are lots of aspects that needs lots of discussion um, and elaboration before we could have any more understanding to this area.
Are there any outreach programs or educational initiatives that you find particularly promising in like promoting contemporary music?
Um, yeah, I've known some particularly like family series. I don't know if you've I mean, as kids, you go to those concerts created for children. For example, Peter and Wolf was a great example, and there are more contemporary pieces written for children. I mean, that has like a particular appeal because if you cater and a great experience for the next generation when they're younger. And of course, when they, as they grow up, they stay, more more understanding to this genre. So I think that's an important aspect. Um, and that's something I never written before, but I'm very interested in exploring writing something for children because it is really hard actually to write good music for children, but our children um, definitely deserve great music.
Right. So finally, a lot of music students do not know how to start and how to understand modern classical music. So do you have any tips for them?
Um, yeah, I would encourage music students to immerse themselves in a variety of musical genres, like what they're already doing. I know lots of you are listening to all kinds of different music, and that's great. But at the same time, I think studying music theory, for example, is very important because understanding the foundational rules of music is the key to pushing boundaries and creating innovative compositions. You have to learn what the rules are in order to break the rules, right?
Right. So thank you so much for all the great responses. It's very nice talking to you for this short time.
Yeah, thanks for so much for having me. I think what you're doing is very meaningful and sounds lots of fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.